We're very excited for our next guest. You might call her stellar. American astronaut and civil rights activist Amanda Nguyen will be the very first Vietnamese and Southeast Asian woman to travel into space. Amanda put her childhood dreams of being an astronaut on pause temporarily when she was sexually assaulted in her senior year of college. She became an activist for survivors, writing the Sexual Assault Survivors Bill, signed into law back in 2016. It ensures that in federal cases, sexual assault survivors have rights to information surrounding their evidence collection kits, including notification before those kits are destroyed. This year, she will travel to space with Blue Origin. Nguyen recently partnered with Elf Beauty through their Show Yourself film series, sharing her story of resilience. And she joins us now to talk about that story. Amanda, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I know you can't tell us when you're going up into the great blue beyond, but tell us about the preparations and what it means to you.
You know, I'm just so thrilled to be able to achieve this childhood dream of mine. I've been training for the several past years, and my specialty is in bioastronautics, but I'll actually be conducting a science experiment on plants. So that's in partnership with the Vietnamese National Space Center and some scientists at the University of Wisconsin.
What's the experiment you're going to be doing? It reminds me of that movie, was it The Martian, where he grows,
yeah,
right? He grows plants in space?
Yes, and it's actually pretty important for the future of space flight so that our astronauts can eat, but it will be examining how plants respond to microgravity.
Now, you have shared your family's connection to the stars. You've talked about members of your family being boat refugees from Vietnam and using the stars to help navigate them. When did you find that out, and what does that mean to you?
Yeah, you know, my mom is a boat refugee from Vietnam, and she crossed the ocean so that I can touch the sky. And I just grew up with that lore. But also both of my parents are engineers. And when they came to the US, they actually decided that learning how to code was easier than learning English. So It's definitely been a part of my DNA from the very beginning.
You always wanted to be an astronaut. That was derailed when you were sexually assaulted in college. And you decided to devote your life to activism. How difficult a decision was that for you?
Yeah, and thank you so much for treating this issue with the respect that it deserves. You know, I was raped, and I found out that the government had destroyed rape evidence before it was tested. And so at the crossroads of my justice and my astronaut dreams, I traded in my telescope to write the Sexual Assault Survivor Bill of Rights. I remember walking out of the hospital feeling so lonely, and when I saw the Rape Crisis Center, there weren't enough seats for us in the waiting room. So that's when I knew that my story wasn't mine alone. You know, since I've written my bill, the US Congress and the United Nations have passed my legislation unanimously, which protects 1.3 billion survivors around the world.
I mean, an enormous change and contribution, truly. Thank you so much for everything that you've worked on.
Yeah, of course.
We're all shaped by our experiences. We just touched on a couple of the darker experiences in your life, but let's look at a brighter one ahead. At some point on this flight, I presume you're going to get a view of the Earth. The overview effect is what astronauts call it, and it often changes people.
Yeah.
Brings them closer to God, makes them rethink their faith. Are you prepared for that moment? What do you think it's going to be like?
Well, you know, every astronaut has a zero-G indicator. It's a little something that lets us know we're in space when it's floating. And mine is something that's very special. So it's a promise I made to myself. After the hospital, I wrote down never, never, never give up on a piece of paper. And I taped that paper to my laptop to see it every day as I was fighting for my rights. And I will be looking at that promise as I hover over Earth. And that healing moment, I hope, resonates with survivors and with anyone who's ever had to defer their dreams.
So you're going to bring that paper into space and it's going to float? You're going to see it float?
That's right, yeah.
Wow.
It's going to be
amazing.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be achieving this dream in this way?
You know, I want Vietnamese girls to see themselves in the stars. I might be the first, but I won't be the last. And I'm so grateful to my partners who have uplifted my story. Like Elf Beauty, we just shot this film together, and it talks about how women and girls can really achieve all their dreams. And also center joy, you know, because I do think that joy is the most radical form of rebellion.
Beautiful.
Amen. Say it again.
That's right. That's right.
Most radical form of rebellion.
That's right. Looking so chic in what you call
Thank
this
you.
look, astronaut chic, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
you call it. Thank you, Tom Brown.
All right,
That's fly.
Amanda, thank you so, so much.